ओम श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Okay. So I have unmuted Surendra ji.
Yeah, my video is stopped.
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रम नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते। So we will start from Vivekaha, which I think in the document it is 1.3. Nitya nitya vastu vivekah kaha.
Nitya nitya vastu vivekah kaha.
Nityam vastu ekam brahma tadvyatiriktam anyat sarvam anityam ayameva nitya nitya vastu vivekah viragah kaha iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam shamadhi shatka sampattih ka shamodama uparamastitiksha shraddha samadhanam cheti shamah kaha mano nigraha damah kaha chakshuradi bahyendriya nigraha
पाठयन् निग्रहः
उपरमः कः
उपरमः कः
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानम् एव
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानम् एव
okay. So last time we were talking about Shama, Mano Nigraha. So we said 5 points. One is paying attention to the mind, accepting situations, emotions as they are, not labeling ourselves, not labeling the mind. Fourth one, making an attempt to work on any issues I have. And fifth one, making the mind available, trying to make an attempt to keep the mind focused on what is at hand right now. So these are the 5 aspects we said, which we can all together call as Shama, aspects of Shama. Now, when we did this, a couple of more things we can say. So working on issues, it's a very important thing. You know, in modern psychology, there are a lot of techniques they give. And one of the things is affirmations. Affirmations means, suppose I have the tendency to bottle up my emotions and not share my emotions with people. Like I'm sad, or I'm confused, I need some help. So there are so many feelings we have. And I'm not used to asking people for help or talking with a trusted person, a friend. So then affirmations can help. Affirmation means taking a piece of paper and writing something like, it is all right to be confused. I will not condemn myself if I am confused. I have the right to ask somebody how to clarify this confusion. I have the right to talk to a trusted person to share my confusion. I've done these things before. Many years ago, 15 years ago, I used to have all these things. And so I used to write these things. I have a whole big stack of affirmations I have written. So you write an affirmation like this, and then every morning you get up, and then you look at that affirmation you wrote. I have the right to talk to somebody who can clarify my confusion. Very empowering. These affirmations are very empowering. And then after a while, it becomes natural to me. I begin to start talking. I begin to work on my problems. Very simple it may seem, but it is actually no. It is a very powerful technique to remind ourselves. So get up in the morning and read it aloud. So especially people like me who are living alone, we have an advantage because I can read it aloud. There is nobody in the room. I don't have to feel shy, and read it aloud. I don't have a right to shout at others. Like that I can tell. And if I say for a week, suddenly, slowly, it starts getting into my head. And next time when I feel like shouting, suddenly I will catch myself. Very powerful. So affirmations, I wanted to mention that. And of course, one more thing we must say, a religious life is most helpful. So I do puja every day. I do japa every day. It's a way to connect with Bhagavan, connect with Ishvara. Because finally, Ishvara is the all-pervasive, all-compassionate force out there. I can surrender to him or her. That is the only force I can surrender to. So when I do puja, for example, you look at this. So there are things like Ashtottara Shatanamavali. You can do Archana. In southern India, we do Archana. North also, they do Archana. But you look at this. Suppose Ganesha. My Ishta Devata is Ganesha. And I can say, Vakradunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti, Samaprabha, I can say all these shlokas. And then I can keep some flowers. And I can offer flowers with a name. This is typical Archana. So I will say, Om Sumukha Yanamaha. One name for Ganesha, Sumukha. One who has a happy countenance, a pleasant face. And I offer the flower to him when I say that. And you look at this. I have a lot of pain in my heart. I have a lot of struggles that I'm going through. And I don't know why. And so when I offer this flower, I touch the flower in my heart and then I offer it. And I say, this pain, I want this pain to go away. It doesn't belong to me. And as though you take that pain away. Om Sumukha Yanamaha. Look at that, how beautiful it is. Very, very powerful. Om Ekadanta Yanamaha. This confusion doesn't belong to me. Just say it. This confusion doesn't belong to me. Om Ekadanta Yanamaha. This conflict I've been having last 2 months does not belong to me. Om Kapila Yanamaha. You are the one who are capable of taking care of me. Om Gajakarnaka Yanamaha. Look at that, how beautiful it is. I used to do all these things. I used to take a piece of paper, write down the things that I really need to work on, that I can't ignore, and just focus and work. So what happens? We develop a personal bond with our Ishta Devata and focus on the Ishta Devata and keep building that relationship. Wonders happen. So just a technique I wanted to share with you. And so a religious life has a big role to play. As I said before, we did not have psychologists in our society. Or to put it differently, every neighbor was a psychologist. Every friend was a psychologist. Every relative was a psychologist. Every Swami was a psychologist. So we used to have all that. But today, since we are living in a nuclear society, families are all nuclear, 1 person, 2 persons. So stress can build up. And so we need to focus. We need to just tell each other, hey, wait a minute. We seem to be caught up in something. Let's calm down and let's seek help. Let's do something that is proper. Let's have our own space. These days they say, have your own space. So space, see how important space is. Sabarimala issue is there in India. The Supreme Court has ruled that so and so everybody, the temple, everybody should have access to the temple. Beautiful article written by a woman. She said, my goodness, during these 2 months, when our men go to the temple, these fellows stop drinking, they stop whiling away their time, they stop smoking, they stop watching TV, they stop goofing around. This is the best time of the year. They have their own space, and we women get our own spaces. Like this beautiful article. And long before you guys talked about spaces, we were talking about spaces. Like this, she said. So leave us alone. Don't meddle with the affairs of Sabarimala. This Ayyappa is a celibate. He is a bachelor. So there is a little tradition. Let it be there. Like that, he said. She said. So very beautiful. But there are other temples, Ayyappa temples, where everybody can enter. This is the only temple where these rules are there. So space, point I wanted to say was space. So we all need our space. And when we do puja, this puja is a time when nobody can tell, hey, Hem, why are you doing puja? Nobody can say that. Nobody in this world can say that, can stop you from doing puja. So you got your space. You say, I need 10 minutes now. I'm going to do my japa, I'm going to do my puja. So wash the murti, and keep your kumkuma ready, chandan ready, vibhuti ready, whatever you have. If you have flowers, keep flowers ready. If you don't have flowers, go to the store, buy some silver flowers which you can reuse. If you don't have silver flowers, take some rice grains, mix it in haldi, dry it, and you can use akshata. So many ways are there. There is no one rule to do a puja. And just connect with Ishtadevata. Fantastic way. So, with all this said, we can now see why Mano Nigraha does not mean destruction of the mind. It does not mean emptying of the mind. It doesn't mean any of these things. It really means taking care of the mind. The mind is the biggest blessing I have. It is my responsibility to take care of the mind. This is called Shama. Okay. So now we are going to, and that's why, see, we have to purposely say this because the mind seems to be the most or the least understood. And that is why mind baiting is big business. See, if any of you want to become rich, wealthy, then the best business you should get to is the mind business. You learn a few techniques, take a few courses on psychology, learn a few technical terms, and learn to speak. Learn to speak properly and slowly. Use some nice modulations. Grow a beard. If you're a male, grow a beard. Wear a nice dress. And then tell people, are you confused? Yes, I'm confused. Have you ever tried to stop thinking? Yes, Guruji, we have tried to stop thinking. Can you ever stop thinking? No, Guruji, it's not possible to stop thinking. See, when you try hard, what happens? It seems we can momentarily stop thinking, but again the thoughts seem to rush back. That is why you have to follow the Kriya I am going to teach you. That's it, over. 1,000 people are now hooked on to you. You become indispensable. Good way to make money. So think about it. I mean, just if that's your desire. So these are the things people do. So why I'm saying this is this mind has to be taken care of. It is very auspicious thing that we have, a sacred thing. We need to take care of it. and we need to help others take care of it. Our children are there. We are impacting the lives of so many people in our life. So, very important. We need to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others also. Okay, very important. Mano nigraha. Next. Shamaha. Okay. So, Sunita Chavendra, I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Damahkaha.
Damahkaha.
Chakshuradi.
Chakshuradi.
Bahyendriya nigraha.
Bahyendriya nigraha.
Okay. So next, the author is asking the question, what is Dhamma? And she answers, Chakshuradi Bahyendriya Nigraha. Nigraha, same word we saw in the previous answer, Mano Nigraha, same meaning also. Mastery. Mastery over something. Over what? Bahyendriya. External organs. External organs like eyes. That's what she says. So what are these external organs? We need to think about it. See, this is the beauty of our Vedic lifestyle, Vedic culture. In the West, you don't have these kinds of things. Organs means, botany is there and all organs are analyzed very well. But here, organs as a means to express ourselves and as a means over which I must have mastery. So, Bahyendriya means two types of organs. One is organs of perception. 5 organs of perception. Shrotram, Tvak, sense of touch. So, sense of hearing, sense of touch. Chakshuhu, Rasanam, Granam. Shrotram, Chakshuhu, sense of touch. Chakshuhu, Rasanam, Granam. Sense of taste, sense of smell. Rasanam. So, Rasanam, I am reminded of this during my school days 30, 40 years ago. There used to be a drink. There used to be a soft drink that we used to make at home. Do you all remember that? It is called what? Rasana. Rasana, correct. So it is Rasana, it used to be called. It was a big sensation. So they used to go to the store. I used to go buy this little small packet. And it used to have some ingredients in it. Some masala used to be there in the one packet. Some orange color. And some other things. One liquid I think used to be there. I don't remember now. Some fragrance or something. So we used to come home. I used to help my mother. She used to put 2 cups of sugar and then in a big lota, and I used to mix it gada 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 gada. And rasna, it is basically a sugary drink. And we used to do all these things. These days we have allergy to sugar, but those days it didn't look like sugar was behaving differently. It had no effect on us. But anyway, rasana, nice name, catchy name they got. Rasana means sense of taste. Okay, 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action also included in this Bahyendriya. What are the 5 organs of action? Vak, speech. Pani, hands. Padam, legs. Vak, pani, padam. Payu, pasthaha. Payu, organ of excretion. And upasthaha, organ of procreation, genitals. So these are 5 organs of action. What are they? Vak, organ of speech. Pani, organ of hand. Sajeev, you want to say something? Okay. So Vak, Pani is hands. Pada is legs. Payu is organ of excretion, organs of excretion, you can say. And Upastha. Upastha is organs of procreation. 5 organs of action. And here the author is saying a restraint with respect to these organs. So now we need to explore what this restraint means. So we can go back to the example of anger. Anger is a good example to use because see, we all recognize that anger is an unpleasant emotion. Nobody gets up in the morning and says, you know, I've been very pleasant all these days. I feel I can be angry all day today. I feel like being angry. Nobody says that. It's very clear we don't want to be angry. So not only we don't want to be angry, we don't want others to be angry. And we also know this anger has the tendency to hurt others and ourselves. So let's say I am angry. If I am angry, it is very clear that Shama is lacking. If I had Shama, I will not be that angry anyway. Maybe some anger may come, but that anger will go away also. As it arises, it goes away. But now I am angry. I am furious. Now what? I am about to throw stuff. You know, I don't know why this anger makes people throw stuff. I think hands are there and it makes you do something, I suppose. Throw, slap. So suppose I am about to do something. And you know, I can't, even flowers, if I get a hold of flowers and I give some flowers to somebody, if I'm angry and I throw the flower at them, they can't accept that flower. Normally you offer a flower and say, please take this, somebody will take. But if I'm angry, they won't accept it. No, I won't take this flower. That's what they will say. So when I am like this, what should I do? That is the question now. Anger is there and I'm about to do things that I am not supposed to do. Then I must take some actions. Those actions are called Dhamma. What actions I can take? I can tell the other person, I am angry now. I don't feel like speaking, or I am not going to speak. I have the right to terminate the conversation right there. Or the other person can say, you are angry now. You are angry now. I think we should speak later. Because we all know that when anger comes, emotions have overwhelmed me and all reason has gone away. Reason is not there to help me. So we can each empower ourselves and say, we will not talk now. This is a very important thing. When we are angry, we have the right to say, I will not talk now. I am very angry. Let me just be with myself. Perfect way to stop an otherwise ugly conversation, an ugly turn of events. Okay. This itself, I think, can solve so many problems in families. When I'm angry, in fact, when we should all empower ourselves, we should sit in the dining table before dinner or after dinner. We should tell ourselves, hey guys, the father or mother can say, we have a new rule in our house. We are going to empower ourselves. If we are angry, we have the right to not talk. Number one. If I am angry, the mother can say, if I am angry, you children have the right to tell me, Mom, you are angry. I think we should not talk. I am empowering you to stop me from talking. Like that, the parent can say. Wonderful rule. And it can do wonders in the family. So this is an act. This act, when I am angry, is an expression of Dhamma. Dhamma. So I will talk to you later is Dhamma. And this can be applied not just for anger. You see, we talk about Shad Ripu, right? Sixfold emotions which are our enemies. Our Shastram says these are our enemies. Kama, passion, unfettered passion, kama. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Greed are just unacceptable desires for things. Moha is some kind of a delusion. Just wrong priorities. Moha. Mada, aggression. And Matsarya, jealousy. So when these emotions come, we have to empower ourselves to stop our behavior. Jealousy has to be nipped in the bud. They say, if you allow jealousy to keep encouraging jealousy, then this jealousy is like a wildfire. It will just consume me. There is no end to jealousy. So we have to stop ourselves. We have to tell each other, hey, wait a minute. Why did you make a judgment about this other person? Are you jealous of her? You must ask this question. No, I am not jealous of her. Then why did you say this? Yeah, we should have this conversation. Then we will catch ourselves. And we say this jealousy. Otherwise, what happens in a conversation between friends? This thing will happen. Judging other people constantly, and each person, I don't like him. You also don't like him. And we keep on building a big mountain of accusations. He is this, she is that, he is this. Om Sumukhaya Namaha, he is this. Om Ekadantaya Namaha. This whole Namaha goes on. So we don't do any puja. This is the only puja we do. Talking about others. So catch ourselves. So we can apply this technique to any occasion where we feel we are a victim of one of these emotions like kama, krodha, etc. Okay. But then now, let's say I am angry and I have stopped myself from inappropriate behavior. That is Dhamma. Stopping myself from behaving inappropriately is Dhamma. Right? Pahyendriya nigraha. So now what? Now the anger has come. I have taken the first step. But now this anger is still there in my head. It has to be resolved. Somebody called me, and a friend or whatever, a boss or somebody, and I hung up the phone and I am furious. What am I going to do now? I have to resolve it. So resolution of this anger, we have to go back to previous step, Shama. Sama is resolution of mind, we said, mastery of the mind. We have to resolve this anger. Simply saying that I will not be angry is not enough, because anger has already arisen and I have to take care of it. How do I take care of it? Swamiji gives some advice. In his talks, he gives like this kind of advice. He says, wet a towel, take a turkey towel, heavy towel, make it wet, and then squeeze it dry. It is still wet, still a little heavy, and I'm so angry. Just hit it on the floor. Just say, you idiot. Feel like beating you, and hit this towel on the floor. Hit the towel on the wall. Don't hit anybody. There's nobody around. Tell them, hey, I'm going to close myself. I'm going to be in this room. You may hear some sounds. Don't worry. I'm not hitting anybody. I'm not hitting myself. Just the floor. I'm going to have a conversation with the wall. Okay, just tell people. And no, for just 5 minutes, I'll open the door afterwards. I won't lock the door, so I'll just close the door and just express it out. Beat the wall, beat the floor, or go outside and talk to the trees. Go to a place where there is nobody. If you can find a place where there is nobody in India, it's hard to find. But if you can find a place, then go and scream it out. Tell the stars, tell the sky, this guy is making me crazy. I hate him. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Just whatever comes in your mouth, just say it out. And after 5 minutes, you look at yourself. You feel relieved. Feel relieved. And no, nothing left in the mind. Or another technique, if you can't go out and all that, in another way, if you can't make noises like this, another way is there. You take a piece of paper, write it all down. Write a letter as though I'm writing a letter to this guy, to my boss. You know, bosses, there is a unique relationship between employees and bosses. It's a love-hate relationship. Like husband-wife, also a love-hate relationship. Nothing wrong. That's how it is. But this hatred has to be processed. What to do? You know, I have to lead a life. I have to live with this boss for another so many years. So write this letter, you John or you Venkat or who, whatever. And this is not right. You insulted me in a meeting. How can you do this? You just keep on writing. Use any words, any choice words you have in your language. Use that also in this letter. And then keep that letter. Don't post it. Don't post it. If you post that letter, it causes damage, fireworks. Don't post it. Next day, you read this letter. You open and read this letter. And I'll be so surprised. What? I wrote this letter? This language came out of my mouth? Be so surprised. Take this letter, tear it into 30 pieces and put it in the dustbin, trash can. So, anger processed. Anger is gone. Doesn't mean that person won't provoke me again. That person may provoke me. But I know how to deal with anger. I know how to stop inappropriate behavior, Dharma, and I know how to process the anger. And I will get better at dealing with these situations. I'll get better. I may be able to confront my manager, confront my spouse, and rationally deal with the situation better. We all need to learn this because we get caught up in emotions and we become a victim of our emotions. We victimize others with our emotions, shouting, screaming, etc. So, very important, Shama and Dhamma. So, that is why here the author, I think, Swamiji says, the author mentions Shama first. And he says, you must have Shama. And then he mentions Dhamma later because if I don't have Shama, then I must have Dhamma. I must have Dhamma because at least by some willpower, I must stop certain actions. And so Shama and Dhamma are mentioned in that order. And so there used to be an advertisement for Nike. You know, this Nike shoes. Those days, I don't know if they do this today. At the end of the advertisement, they have a nice statement. It's called, just do it. Do you all remember that? Just do it. Yeah, that used to be the ad. So, just do it. That is Dhamma. That is Dhamma. Just do it. Just do it means just don't do it also is Dhamma. Just stop your mouth. Just shut your mouth. Don't say anything. You're angry, don't say anything. I feel like saying a lot of things. Don't say it. Just do it. So Dhamma, fantastic ad, and the people I think got carried away by this ad, and Nike became a big phenomenon. So sometimes a catchy phrase is all you need to become to win in this game. So Dhamma. And so remember, this is not advice. What the author is saying, Shama, Dhamma and all is not advice. It is very crucial to understand ourselves better. And so we need to process our emotions. We need to understand emotions. One psychologist, I remember I read a book by an author called John Bradshaw. John Bradshaw, I don't know how many of you have heard the name. So one of his books, Homecoming, was one of his books. Very beautiful book. It talks about how to, all the emotions we have, and sometimes very traumatic experiences we have, and how to process these things. Very beautiful book. And he has written other books also, like The Shame That Binds You. Okay. So all these books are very, I read all these books and really learned a lot from them. And so he says emotion is emotion, energy in motion. So emotion, emotion, when we have a strong emotion, it just makes us do stuff that sometimes we should not do. So we need to understand these emotions and take care of them. Shamaha, Damaha. Okay. So now we are going to next one. Author is asking a question and answering it. Vishnu, I am unmuting yourself. Okay. Uparamah kaha.
Uparamah kaha.
Swadharmanushtanameva.
Swadharmanushtanameva.
Uparamah kaha.
Uparamah kaha.
Swadharmanushtanameva.
Swadharmanushtanameva.
You can unmute. You can mute yourself. So the third element in Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, Uparamaha. The author is saying Swadharma Anushtanam. Anushtanam means observance. Observance, following one's Swadharma, following one's duties, if we can say, in a concise manner. See, this word duty is a very, very unique to Indian culture, Hindu Dharma. In America, you can't say duty and all that. They don't say, I have to go home and do my duty. People will say, what are you talking? Those days in India, they used to say, my parents and all used to say, where are you going? I'm going to do my duty. I'm going to duty, they will say. Correct? I'm going to duty means I'm going to my office. That used to be their duty. Duty literally those days meant office work. This is what one synonym of office is, duty. Duty means office work. Now in America, you can't say I'm going to duty and all. If you say, they will get confused and they'll think, which planet are you from? They will ask. So, duty. So, Indian society is a duty-based culture. That's why the word duty is used often in many places. And so that Swadharmanushtanam becomes very important. And the author is invoking that here. Now, when we have to do duties, so let's see what are duties, what can be duties. I am a brahmachari. I am 10 years, 12 years old. I am a brahmachari. my duty is to study. This brahmachari has no other duty. Only duty is to study. He or she does not have to earn money. He or she does not have to take care of any other children. He or she does not have to take care of parents. Only duty is to study. Great ashrama, just study. There is no other duty. That is why, that is the time when the child studies all right and continues to study, keeps on studying unfettered. And that's why in our culture, the parents support the child's education throughout, including college. In America, it's not like that. Okay, in Indian families, they support the child's education through college. But in many American families, it's not like that. The father and mother will say, okay, now you're on your own and you got to earn your living. Sometimes they say that. Okay, I'm generalizing a little bit, but it is there. The boy or girl has to work, go to the restaurant like McDonald's and these places and work hourly wages, get $5, $10 an hour, and or go to the college and work in the computer center. These kinds of things they used to do and earn their living, apply for aid, assistantship, etc. So all these things are there. But because the ashrama is meant purely for studying, our society was built in such a way that even during college times, that person's duty is only to study, cannot earn money, and therefore should be supported. That person need not earn even during the college education. So, because after marriage, it appears like education stops. Nobody continues their education after going to office, joining a job. Generally, they don't study. So this period of study is so important, that those first 20 years of our life is very precious and the education is protected. So dharma. So brahmachari's dharma is study. And Swamiji used to joke here. This person has to only study. They can't go steady. You know, in America, I learned this phrase called going steady. So going steady, if they say, it means something else. It means entirely something else. So which means I'm having a relationship with somebody. This is what going steady means. And the dangerous thing, in college, you're not supposed to go steady. You're supposed to go and study. So just a duty. Look at this dharma. Look at how a duty-based society helps us. And so like this, you know, I get up in the morning. I always want to sleep 10 more minutes. I always hit the snooze button. But thanks to the snooze button these days, oh my God, what a relief it is. Every 9 minutes, it keeps on reminding me. I can keep on snoozing it. Kata, kata, kata. Shut up, shut up, shut up. So, I am supposed to get up at 5:30. I keep on snoozing and get up at 6:59. So 6:59. So I have the joy of saying I got up at 6 something. But I'm rushing like a Rajdhani Express, like an airplane, I'm rushing. And by 7:30, I'm out. So, okay, I can get up early to simplify my life. Maybe 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier would have been better. I come back in the evening and I take a nap at 6 o'clock. In India, if you take a nap at 6, people will wonder what's wrong with this guy. Not acceptable. Suryastamanam, when the sun is going down, you can't sleep. You have to worship the sun, Aditya Devata. Your last namaskar has to be done to sun. And then he blesses you before he goes down. This is the culture. You can't sleep during the evening time. So duty, look at this culture. It makes us do certain things. It prevents us from doing some funny things. duty. Duty to the child. Parents are there. And so as a bachelor, the person is just free to do what they want. And comes back from office. He has rented a nice little apartment. Is earning a lot of money. And he comes home in the night, he eats something. Beer and chips. I remember, I'm getting all these stories, I don't know why. My friend, when we went to America as bachelors, we were all bachelors, we used to hang around. And this guy said, Jay Kumar, the best invention in America, beer and chips. This is what he used to say. And I used to understand we didn't understand what's he talking. A can of, six-pack. You used to get a 6-pack and chips and all. If you want to get chips, you have to go to America. America has invented the art of making chips. And not small, piddly, 10 rupees, small little packet. No, not like that. Big bag of chips. In fact, it's called bag. They call it a bag of chips. They don't call it a little packet and all that. So, bag of chips. So, this fellow just sits in front, a couch potato. He's called a couch potato. I mean, America invents great phrases. I mean, I learned so many phrases in America. So, couch potato, sit in the couch, turn on the TV and don't know, time is passing. 1 o'clock in the night, midnight, past midnight, and then I go to sleep like this. And life goes on. So, look at this. When Swadharma is not there, look at all the things I do. This is why I'm telling all this. Swadharma is so important. So, all this puja and all we say, it helps me because it prevents me from doing what I'm not supposed to do. Look at the first benefit. Suppose somebody asks, what is the use? Some children, sometimes they ask me, what is the benefit of doing puja? The first answer I give is, I tell them, hey, it stops me from doing what I'm not supposed to do. I do all these funny things. If I 15 minutes I did puja. So 15 minutes I did not watch TV. 15 minutes I did not do this WhatsApp. Okay, that's a benefit, is it not? I tell the children these things. So it's a benefit. It regulates my behavior. So puja is there. Then upavasa. If you want to go further, Ekadashi comes. Upavasa. People will skip meals. Will have fruits for a meal. All these are very powerful techniques that we have received from our forefathers. These days they say, some research they have done and they say fasting helps the body detoxify. Yeah, so it's been there before. So these are all wonderful techniques available to us for this Swadharmanushthanam. And we need to continue this conversation a little more. What this Swadharmanushthanam does to us. What is another meaning of Uparama? We will see that. And so for now, we will stop by saying Uparama is withdrawal from a tendency to do things which are not appropriate, which are not considered appropriate. Uparamaha. So Uparama is what? Withdrawal from the tendency we all have to do things which aren't beneficial at all. That is one way of translating Uparama, and we will explore this further. Okay? Okay, so I'll unmute Sajeev here. So repeat after me. Swasti prajabhyah
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः
paripalayantam
परिपालयन्ताम्
nyayena
न्यायेन
Margena
Margena
Mahim Mahishaha
Mahim Mahishaha
Go Brahmanebhyaha
Go Brahmanebhyah
Shubhamastu Nityam
Shubhamastu Nityam
Loka Samastaha
Loka Samastaha
Sukhino Bhavantu
Sukhino Bhavantu
Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha
Kale Varshatu Parjanyah
Prithvi Sasyashalini
Prithvi Sasyashalini
Deshoyam
Deshoyam
Kshobha Rahitaha
Kshobha Rahitaha
Brahmanaha
Brahmanaha
Tantu
Santu
Nirbhayaha
Nirbhayaha
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah
Sarve Sarve Santu Niramayaha
Sarve Santu Niramayaha
Sarve Bhadrani
Sarve Bhadrani
Pashyantu
Pashyantu
Ma Kaschit
Ma Kaschit
Dukkha Bhak
Dukkabhak
Bhavet
Bhavet
Asato Ma Sadgamaya
Asato Ma Sadgamaya
Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya
Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya
Mrityorma
Mrityorma
Amritangamaya
Amritam Gamaya
Om Purnamadaha
Om Purnamadaha
Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya
Purnameva
Purnameva
Avashishyate
Avasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
Okay. So hope that repetitive chanting was helpful to some of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what you can do is use that to practice if you have to, and so that, and then have that that notes in front of you, so that next time onwards you can chant along with all of us, chant together also. I'll try to do it slowly so that all of you can catch up. Okay. So any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vishnu.
Actually, my doubt is regarding Swadharma, but the topic will continue over the next class. Means I can ask after that, or should it be okay if I ask now, sir?
Yeah. So wait until the next class.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
cover Swadharma. Ask the question anyway. Let's see if it
No, I always used to get confused between the terms Kula Dharma and Swadharma, and whether Swadharma is part of Kula Dharma or these kind of doubts I used to have. And Swadharma is particular to an individual. Should it be aligned with Kula Dharma? These kind of things. I always had a doubt. So I could not relate both here. So that was my doubt.
Sure. So let's take that question. So I have muted everybody. So there are two kinds of dharma. So we have varna dharma and we have ashrama dharma. So every individual has two kinds of dharmas in our culture, Vedic culture. Ashrama dharma applies to what stage of life I am in. Okay, we won't go into a lot of detail. So brahmachari, grahastha. So I am a bachelor. I am married. So married person has their own duties. And then vanaprastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. So based on the stage of life I am in, as a married person, I have duties towards my spouse. Previously, I didn't have duties, remember? And now I'm now responsible for another person, first time. And then I have a child, then responsibility increases even more. So like this, duties get add up. And based on the culture we live in, these duties also can get modified appropriately. So the parents are willing to give up their sleep also for the child. So the guy comes to office and his eyes are like this, and they understand, yeah, I know you have a baby, so for a few more months it will be like that. So everybody will understand. They are sympathetic to you. Okay, so dharma, ashrama dharma. Then, so this is applying to me towards myself, I can say. Now, varna dharma means it is my duty towards society. Varna dharma. So we have this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So if I am a Brahmana, I am supposed to be a Vedadhyayi. That is the original definition of Brahmana. Means the society has invested in me the responsibility of protecting the Vedas. So there is a physician, suppose there are some doctors, Mohini ji is a doctor. So doctor means she is responsible for the profession of medicine. She has a degree and she is practicing it. And there are this knowledge, this medical knowledge that is there is preserved, and therefore by practicing it, she preserves it. And she becomes an advisor for those who are eager to become a doctor. So like that, these doctors have an association. They may have an Indian Medical Association, an American Medical Association. So these associations are the ones that protect this dharma of medicine. So like that, our Vedic society had ways of protecting our dharma, and that is varna dharma. Brahmana dharma is there, and Kshatriya dharma, then protecting the country. Like that, we all know, we won't get into the detail of all these things. When we get some time, we will do it. So protecting the country, administrative with Kshatriya dharma. Shudra dharma is there, is those who are capable of offering services, who are unable to think independently, and they are, such a mind is capable of offering services. Shudra dharma, very important in society, and Vaishya dharma, commerce, business, etc. So these are the two main types of dharma that govern our lives, govern the life of a Vedic person. Then Kula dharma and all is there. Those are all ancillary dharmas, if you want, you can say. So Kula, see, now, based on the family we are in, if you go to your village, for example, they have their own types of dharma, their own types of rituals. There are temples there, and annual temple programs are there conducted, utsavas are conducted to take this Devi in procession. 10 days, Navaratri, there is a different way of doing it, and the entire community comes together. And there is your Kula Devata. It need not be your village, but it is your Kula Devata. It may be different villages. And there you have certain duties. Then Kula Dharma is there. You must support that temple. You must support the community that is there. And so there may be other rituals that are prescribed. And protecting the priests that are managing this temple. So all these are part of Kula Dharma, and there may be more things that we may not know. We need to talk to our elders, and they will tell you stories that will just shake you. Oh my God, I didn't know all this. Like that, we will respond. So that is Kula Dharma. And so we can, to be simple, we can add everything as part of our Swadharma. Swadharma is a very general word, which means whatever I am supposed to do. So I have to find out what I am supposed to do, because I don't know what I am supposed to do. And by living in this culture, we slowly imbibe all these things. By looking at our parents, by looking at others, we imbibe. And by the time we finish college, we've already imbibed a lot. And we know what to do next. There is no lecture happening. We don't attend a class called Swadharma. But even without that, we know what Swadharma is.
Yeah, that answers. Thank you.
So one more question was there last time. This significance of Dvajastambha. So I asked somebody about that. So he said, it is more like a flag. How a flag draws your attention to something big, something significant. A flag invokes my respect. And so the Dvaja is the first symbol that attracts my attention towards the Mulavar, towards the Devata, towards the temple, towards the Mula Pradhana Devata. And then he said, other than that, he couldn't say anything. There's not much more significance. Now, some temples have a Dvajastambha, some temples will not. Those that have a Dvajastambha, they're required to do, and they do this annual Utsavas will be there. So, for example, Arudra Darshanam, 10-day festival will be there. Brahmotsavam they will call. So, this 10-day festivals happen in these temples which have Dvajastambha. Temples who do not have Dvajastambha, they will only do pujas in the temples. They can do elaborate pujas, but they don't have these kinds of Brahmotsavas. So that is what I've heard. So like that, for example, here in Chidambaram, we have temples. We have big temples. Perur, Adinam, we have temples in Coimbatore. In Austin, we have temples. In Houston, we have Meenakshi temple, which has a big Dvajastambha. So they will, you can check next time you go. You can ask them, when do you do Brahmotsavam, like that. So that is the answer I got from a Pandit that normally comes to our home. I asked him yesterday, he was there at home, so I asked him that. Good. So if you don't have any other questions, we will conclude. Okay, Sajeev, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Jayakumar ji, I have a follow-up question to what Vishnu ji asked about Swadharma. What if one's inherent nature conflicts with the Varna or Ashrama Dharma? For example, up to 21, let's say I'm in a Brahmacharya Ashrama and I'm supposed to study. But some people have this inherent nature, they more than studying, they would want to do stuff and they just go out and do. For example, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs of the world, they just instead of focusing on just the education, they just go out and do things. So is it right to do that according to our Vedic injunctions, or should we? What is the what should be the guidance from our Vedic literature or Vedic shastras?
Sure. Good question. So go ahead and mute yourself. Yeah. So the Shastram recognizes individual propensities, individual inclinations. So these are all only guidance. It's only a guidance for in general. So even going to school, for example, most of us go to school for a certain number of years. But then there are exceptions. The children who are really geniuses, when they go to a school, they get tired. They get confused. They get bored. They come back home and say, "Mom, I'm bored." And the child, in fact, if you subject this child to more of this stuff, the child actually gets disturbed also, potentially. So then it is a responsibility of the parent to recognize the gifts this child has. Hey, they have this gifted and talented, program for some certain children. So put that child elsewhere. Or even if that is basic, then let the child, give the child the tools available to develop itself. Okay, this is very important. So we don't blindly go by certain rules. These are all only guidance. Okay, so that is as far as this ashrama is concerned. Then so when the propensity is there, Bill Gates example. So he is a Vaishya, he is a born Vaishya. So it comes out, suddenly one day it just comes out. And it comes out, no force in the world can stop this. No professor can stop this guy from starting a business. This famous story is there of this Federal Express, how this guy started this company. And he was doing his MBA in a college, in a university. And the project was given to this man, and the project about starting a business. And he came up with this idea of overnight delivery. Those days when the concept of overnight delivery did not exist. So overnight delivery. And the professor gave him 0 points. And the professor said, "This is a ridiculous idea. Ridiculous idea. Overnight delivery. What are you talking?" This guy quit. He quit and he started a company which is Federal Express. Dekho, Federal Express. We pay $40 to send a shipment overnight from US to India. Here also we have Federal Express. We say we pay thousands of rupees to send a package. And so look at this. So he said he could see it. He could see it in front of his eyes. And nobody else could see it. No professor could see it. So no force can stop it. So of course we recognize all this. You can't force this fellow to say, no, you must study. You have to study 4 more courses. You have to get a degree. You have to attend this commencement ceremony. You got to invite your parents. You got to wear this hat. You got to wear this black gown. No, you can't say all these things. That's just a general guidance. And so we have no problem with this. In fact, we are very happy if there is a child. I met a child in Columbus once. And this child, not Columbus, it was Dayton, Ohio, I think. This child is so amazing. He draws pictures of gods, of devatas. He simply draws, and Meenakshi is there, Dakshinamurti is there, Adi Shankara is there, and Absolutely amazing. Can you all hear me?
The video is frozen.
Okay, but the audio you can hear me. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, video is frozen.
Yeah, I see my screen frozen here. That's why I stopped. Okay. So if you can hear me, that's not bad. So this child is like that. So you can't put this child through some stuff like you must do your daily Sandhya Vandanam, daily puja you must do. Hey, this child is beyond puja. We have to do puja to this boy. Correct? So we have to do puja to this boy. Friends used to come to their house and talk to this boy and used to admire the boy and watch the boy doing puja. That's the kind of boy he was. So yeah, there's no problem. Sajeev, good question. So we adapt according to the situation. The key here is adaptation. The key here is for not getting carried away by certain rules. And so very important, especially for parents, to assess their child and not put through their child through things that hurt the child. In India, we do this. We force our children to study, and you must be first in class. We do all kinds of stuff. I tell you, we really spoil our children's life sometimes when I think about it. Good intentions, but outcomes are very bad. So sometimes we just have to put the brakes and say, enough is enough. Let's just step back and think about it. So that's my comment on your question, Sajeev. I hope it helps.
Yeah, it does, Jayakumarji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we will stop here. All your pictures are all frozen. So we'll stop and continue next class. Thank you all. Have a nice week. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jayakumarji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night. Good
Good night.
evening. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.